Artie Lange is giving his version of why he was fired and the fallout with Compound Media. Now, this is per sort of an insider, basically some guy who has to like drop stuff off at the hospital Artie's at. Saw Artie outside, I would assume smoking a cigarette. You gotta remember, Artie's in the hospital, but it's not like he's bedridden or anything. He's in there probably just trying to make an excuse to get out of his sentencing. But even if he's in the hospital, like, he's not bedridden. So we probably caught him outside smoking a cigarette. I have to say, I'm 80-20 with this story. 80% I believe it. 20% I'm holding out, maybe not. The reason why I believe it, I'll go through it, because this is pretty long. But this is per this insider source. And this guy also said he won't be giving any more information because he literally just ran into Artie. So, he put, today, Keith fired Artie in the lounge area of the hospital. Fired is technically what happened, but Artie wanted out for months now. Yeah, like I said, they got fired. They fired Artie. That's what it was. I know other lunatics want to say Artie quit. No one quits an $800,000 job where you don't have to show up. That's what they hired Dave Landau. We all knew this was coming. So he basically fired. Look, they're using like this was a mutual thing. Lingo, it wasn't mutual. No one wants to stop doing their podcast and making $800,000 a year. So that was interesting. It happened in the common area. Which also I said, Artie's not bedridden, so he's probably just sitting in his room, watching TV, walking around the common area, going outside, smoking a cigarette. So, but the news here is Artie wanted out for months. This guy says he just needed the money. He needed the money for obvious reasons. And that's why he did not leave Compound Media after his return in January. As you remember, that was when he got arrested. And then they forced him out and said he had to do the long road to recovery. He went to the hospital, maybe went to rehab for like 3 days, and then forced his way back onto the show. And Keith the Cop said on Jim and Sam, we were surprised Artie came back. This is also why Artie never bothered showing any effort in improving the quality of the show. So here is why Keith and Ant are absolute scumbags. Now you have to remember, this is coming from Artie's point of view. In Artie's agreement with Compound Media, he's going to get pay increases for subscribers gained, milestones. So, sort of like a Howard Stern deal, I guess. The starting point for subscriber numbers was set for August 21st. 2017, the announcement day. Apparently, a short time after the show started, not exactly clear, Artie learned that Anthony and Keith told Grillo, formerly of the Howard Stern and working for Radar Online at the time, to leak the info to Radar Online. These were articles confirming Artie Lange as the new co-host over 2 weeks before the official announcement. Now, see, this part, now this is Artie's version, you have to remember. This part may or may not be true, but it doesn't matter because everyone knew it was going to be Artie. And Artie on Twitter said it himself, dumb, like in a direct message. I remember at the time. I was calling, the second they announced they were hiring a co-host for Anthony. You can't see my original channel, but on my original channel, over a month before, I was like, oh, it's Artie Lange. We all knew it. I think Gavin McInnes said it was Artie Lange. So, but, all right, so, there was articles confirming Artie Lange as new co-host over 2 weeks before the official announcement. This was a tactic to get hardcore Artie fans to subscribe and not have to contribute them to Artie. Again, exact details of times or exactly how Artie found out are unknown to me, but Artie suspected it from before the announcement when he asked Keith / Anthony to not let any more details out, and they went ahead and announced way early that the guests for the announcement show were Norton, Ron B, and Artie. This all but confirmed Artie because anyone with the brain knew Norton and Ron were under contract with SiriusXM. We all knew it was Artie. So if that's his thing with that, yeah, I just blocked that. We all knew it was going to be Artie. So only a week after the first AA show, Gavin announced he is leaving. Artie does not know for sure that CM knew of Gavin leaving soon. But, see, this is another... We all knew Gavin was leaving. That's another thing. People were calling a month before Gavin left that he was leaving. That red bar dude said Gavin was leaving. So, but believes that is the case 100%. The problem that Artie has, that he feels he was lied to when the Gavin leaving news was told to him like it was a big surprise out of nowhere. Apparently, Anthony even fucked up and let out on the AA show. The AA show, the day of Gavin announcing he was leaving. Anthony said it was a shock. Then on some future AA show a few months later, Anthony was talking about his close relationship with Gavin in their nighttime text, and let out that Gavin was very open with him about his negotiations with CRTV, and they remain close friends. Again, the subscriber numbers Artie was concerned about were inflated. He feels the right thing to do was to have Gavin leave before his announcement. All right, I'll give him that then. If Anthony at the time was claiming it was a shock, it wasn't a shock because that is true. Of course, Gavin went and told Anthony, hey, this company's offering me this. So, finally, Artie had problems with Keith being pretty cheap when it came time to pay. Artie was not paid for shows he missed. He said he was aware of that being the case, but was shocked when they enforced it the first show he missed. He thought it was sort of a technical thing so that CM wouldn't be on the hook if he missed a bunch of time for medical. He doesn't concede that he fucked up and missed way too much time, and he says he would not have even accepted the money if Keith and CM were obligated to pay him for it. He also recalled a funny couple of times where Keith shorted him on his paycheck, and how Keith would break down by the hour why his paycheck was what it was. He mentioned the number 3,500 while telling this, but I'm not sure if that was Keith shorting him or was or he was supposed to get paid. He was just making jokes. As we all know, Artie said on the AA show that he gets paid $4,000 an episode. And that works out to the year's salary he said he got. So if he's complaining they shorted him, I guarantee you they shorted him. And he's pretty much saying, the days I was late, they weren't paying me the exact amount. And how about this? I completely agree with them on that. You think you're going to be late and get the full $4,000 an episode? So they didn't really short you. They were just thinking, you're late, motherfucker. So, you know what that puts in perspective? When he was getting his ass in there, like missing, there was more than a few times Artie showed up an hour and a half into the show. You must have really needed like that $1,000. But wow. Like I said, if that's the case, I agree with them on that point. And then, all right, so he puts, finally, Artie felt that he was always a guest on the Anthony Cumia show on his own show. He had no input on guest, but expected bigger guest. He had no input on the show structure and felt disrespected that Anthony insisted on opening the show and announcing Artie was there, even though it was his show too. He said that was the only show-related topic Anthony ever discussed with him. He had no part in hiring Dave Landau. Part of this is Anthony demanding he be the show's lead, and part is because Artie just didn't give a fuck after a month or so. He just wanted that paycheck. I kind of, they call it the Artie and Anthony show, and they put your name first because you're the star, but Anthony owns Compound Media. Can't believe I'm defending Anthony in a bunch of this, but who cares if he announces? I don't know. He has to. He's the only one who could be guaranteed to show up on time. Guy puts, in closing, Artie really doesn't give a fuck. He's aware he fucked up, but is actually kind of glad it is over because he was fucking up out of spite. He said he did actually put in the effort to fix everything when he returned from his jail/hospital extended leave. He did not say why he stopped trying again after that. I assume it was drugs. Keith and Anthony inflated CM sub numbers so that they would only have to pay Artie if his signing was an astounding success. In the end, none of it really mattered because it was not. But Artie still knows they are scumbags. So this is Artie Lange's side of the story per source. There's some guy who saw him at the hospital. If this is Artie Lange's side, I am completely not on his side. And this is complete and utter bullshit. Basically, if this is Artie Lange's side, other than, announcing early stuff, which I'm still a little... We all knew because it was fairly obvious, but I'll give him that. But your biggest complaint seems to be you showed up late every day and they paid you the money they would pay a late person. You know, if you got like a job and you're going to go in and hit the punch clock and you're late, well, they don't pay you for the time you weren't there. So, but this was Artie Lange's side. Do you believe that this is Artie Lange's side? Do you believe this guy? Everyone seems to be believing this guy. Like I said, I'm 80-20. I do believe him. But, and if you do believe him, then what do you think of Artie Lange's side? Because if this is his side, I'm surprisingly Team Anthony in this one. Come on, you baby gorilla. What the fuck's wrong with you?